Welcome to NKF Spring National Meetings at Orlando 2013. My name is Kanara Javeri. I'm with eAJKD, the official blog of the American Journal of Kidney Diseases. It's my pleasure to be with Rachel Linzon. She's a dietitian at the McKinsey Health Hospital and here to present Phosphorus Olympics, something very exciting. Can you tell us a little about the aspect you're presenting?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Javeri, for inviting me here today. It's an honor to be here. The Phosphorus Olympics was created during a very inspiring period in my life. I recently became certified a master trainer in Stanford's chronic disease self-management program, ran my first marathon. I was actively participating in the hospital's patient education committee, and that winter was the Olympics hosted in Vancouver, British Columbia. My program had asked my colleagues Josie Marl and I to rethink how we present phosphorus education to patients on dialysis. And basically, we wanted to continue to infuse the self-management principles into patient education, and this led to the creation of the Phosphorus Olympics. The Phosphorus Olympics was a continuous quality improvement initiative for the York Region Chronic Kidney Disease Program in McKinsey Health, Richmond Hill, Ontario, in Canada, to empower patients on dialysis. The objective was to test if a self-management approach to phosphorus education would impact patients' decisions around dietary phosphate intake, phosphate binder usage, and improve serum phosphorus levels. So 229 patients were recruited from home hemodialysis, and peritoneal dialysis, representing 50% of our dialysis program on 3 dialysis sites during the months of October and November 2011. One quiz for each week for 8 weeks, so a total of 8 quizzes were distributed. And basically the patients who achieved the highest quiz scores were eligible to win gold, silver, or bronze medals, or $100, $75, $50 grocery store certificates. The winners had their pictures taken wearing their medals, holding their prizes, and these pictures were posted in each dialysis unit on all 3 sites. As well, participants were given pre- and post questionnaires for dietary phosphorus intake and phosphate binder usage, and statistical significance was observed in patients' decisions impacting the use of their phosphorus education handout, eating less baked goods containing baking powder, reading labels for hidden phosphate additives, taking phosphate binders with their snacks, and also feeling in control in dietary phosphorus and their phosphate binder usage. Participants' serum phosphorus levels also improved 3.6% overall. Patients were really excited to enjoy the self-management approach to learning, and the dietitians, we were all very surprised and excited to see that patients were very competitive and resourceful. They went to nutrient databases, the Canadian Nutrient File. They called pizza restaurants to look up ingredient lists, and they even went to academic journals. So it was really amazing. They really enjoyed the weekly feedback from the dietitian when they received their scores and to review their answers. And as educators, renal dietitians need to recognize there's a shifting trend from the traditional approach to a self-management approach for patient education. In the traditional approach, the dietitian typically is the expert telling the patient what foods they can and cannot eat in order to manage their serum phosphorus levels. And the goal is for the patient to comply, follow their low phosphorus diet to achieve normal serum phosphorus levels. Whereas the self-management approach encourages patient feedback and a partnership with the dietitian to empower the patient with the knowledge to manage the phosphorus in their diet. So it's important to explore new and innovative ways for patient education to increase motivation.
No, this is totally innovative, and congratulations on a great project. How did you motivate the patients to participate? Was that needed even, or how did you come about it?
Well, we wanted to create some hype and enthusiasm that this initiative was on its way, and so we did post posters a few months ahead of time. We also ensured that all our participants were aware they would receive a certificate of participation, an annual graph of their annual phosphorus trends, a visit from the dietitian every week with their quiz scores and answers reviewed. As well, there was a prize incentive thanks to our sponsor, Genzyme, which is now Sanofi, And as well, in the beginning of the event, when we were recruiting, the dietitian met with each patient on dialysis, and we handed out applique that our hospital chef made from the Genzyme recipe calendar, and each participant or patient received the calendar.
So where does your group go now in the future studies on this topic, or using these games at a different site, for example, or other centers?
Well, we want to continue to think creatively when developing patient education, and to continue to incorporate new, fun, innovative self-management approaches which will empower and encourage patient independence. And right now, we're excited to be developing a self-management approach that for our patients on dialysis that is related to a phosphate additive treasure hunt.
Great.
So stay tuned.
All right, we will definitely stay tuned for that. Thank you again for being here with us on eAJKD, and thank you for listening to eAJKD at the Spring Clinical Meetings.
Thank you, Dr. Jabari.